Hello, I'm Don Nutt. I led the Rotary Club of Poole Bay's project Pirates, Castaways and Codfish back in 2018. We'd won nearly £10,000 from the Heritage Lottery Fund, and together with Poole Museum, Rotary and Bournemouth University backing, we successfully carried out research into Poole's maritime heritage between 1580 and 1730. That 150 years was the prelude to Poole's famous Georgian heyday. To celebrate our successful completion of the project in 2019, we hosted a family day at Scaplen's Court on behalf of Poole Museum. Our boat building, storytelling, shanty singing and a play written specially for the day all proved really popular. This short video is to give you an idea of what we achieved. Images of the day and a collection of clips pulled together to make a video of the play itself. Now these are footage from people's phones and cameras taken at different times over a 4-month period, so forgive any jumping around, but it'll give you a really good idea of what the play was about. So first up, our day in June 2019 at Scaplen's Court. Our play is brought to you by Scaplen's Court Players, a new troupe of local actors who gave their time freely last year to help us create this community event. We're very grateful for their assistance. They were led by producer Carole Allen, director Jo Puttick. Mayhem at the Inn, Poole 1623. I should say that the features of this play are historically correct. Such events may well have gone on here in May 1623. So imagine you're here in this quayside inn. It's market day, there's chatter going on, people are coming and going, there's singing. Some fishermen are deciding what they need to take with them to Newfoundland over there in the corner. All the rest of the men in Poole went off to Newfoundland weeks ago now, expecting to be back in October or November later this year, after they've done the fishing for cod. These stragglers have just heard from a message from a pirate down in Dartmouth that the press gang is coming to all the ports along the south coast, and they want to get off. They don't want to be pressed for the Navy. Mayor Bramble and the captain of the press gang come in looking for likely men, and the mayhem ensues.
Chariots along, we'll roll the old chariots along, and we'll all hang on behind.
Oh, a night at Poole Quay wouldn't do me any harm.
Oh, a night at Poole Quay wouldn't do us any harm. Oh, a night at Poole Quay wouldn't do us any harm, and we'll all hang on behind.
So
roll the old chariots along, we'll roll the old chariots along, we'll roll the old chariots along, and we'll all hang on behind.
Newfoundland, off Canada's coast, some 2,300 miles away from Poole. 4 weeks on the good trip, rather longer on the bad one. Typically, around 10 to 12 seamen and a cabin boy live and work together on board these small vessels going to catch the codfish off Newfoundland, to process it and trade it for money or other goods. And it's them against the elements. They have to take everything with them they need for the 6 months that they're away. Coming in are some fishermen talking about getting off to Newfoundland soon. The landlady here is Mistress Meg. Her husband is a fishing captain. He's already in Newfoundland, so Meg knows all about it. The bar is busy with local people, passing the time of day, some local fishermen, a few traders.
Morning, lads. Sorting out your lading. How's it going then, Bill?
Why, it is going well, Meg. We'll be off before he knows it.
These had better give a move on. This one more and be off with a lot of you. Trouble's brewing, I can feel it.
Why, we've nearly done, and then we're away.
We're telling the boy here about what they expect there in Newfoundland when he gets there.
Oh.
Tis right, isn't it? They fish are as big as houses, and there'll be giant floating mountains of ice that do grow and crack.
Why, yeah, there's giant biting insects too. Big as squirrels. Make sure to watch out for they, young'un.
Times are hard here in Poole. The fishermen are reluctant to go fishing in Newfoundland, worried about the pirates between here and there, going out and coming back, and about their own safety whilst they're busy. However, there isn't much choice. If they want to earn decent money and save themselves from being pressed, they have to go. So let's listen into this boat crew. Talking about preparing at short notice for their long voyage to Newfoundland to fish for cod. They're doing this later than the other people because who left 6 weeks ago. And they're only doing it now because they've heard there's a recruiting party in town looking to press 20 men for the King's Navy. The Master Bramble they talk about was Mayor of Poole in 1622-23. He was designated by the Privy Council to press 20 men and have them ready to go aboard the fleet with whosoever shall come authorised to take them. Bill, the experienced shipmaster, is leading a discussion on the bits and pieces they want above and beyond what the victualler has actually provided. He wants to be sure that they have everything they need for the 5 months until they return.
Now come along, that's enough joshing of the lad. Leave him be. He'll get to see the giant biting insects soon enough. We will need to decide about any other things we need to take with us. Now the provisioner will get most of it sorted, but I wants to check the owner's list. Now I can't see enough nails there yet, nor fish hooks. Put fish hooks down, lad. Nor goats, nor swan skins, neither. We're going to need a couple more goats, I think. And surely, we must take a couple of barrels of bread with us. Oh, and some of those vine biscuits we took last year. You remember the ones with weevils in them?
Mind the time we went out and left the goats. Well, they would have died, but with no meat on the journey.
I went that year too. It was my first visit. I'll never forget it. When we got over to the other side near the land, oh, it got cold. So cold that in the storms, when the sea flew up over the decks, it covered you. Damn me. In 2 minutes, your clothes was frozen solid.
Couldn't move without happening.
No.
Not without hurting yourself. Couldn't work in them conditions. They ropes wouldn't pass through they blocks. They'd be frozen solid too. Babies there have hardly any sails, chipping off the ice and snow and throwing it overboard for fear the vessel would get so heavy it'd sink.
Well, what's all this for then, Bill? Why do we need so many nails?
Ah, it's they Indians. They be old fucks. Most years, when we get back over, everything we built last year has been taken down. They do nick our nails, do you see? Ha, they ain't got nothing like them over there, so they be like gone to them. But they do use the nails and hooks and other things they do find to make spearheads and fish hooks and such like.
That's the first thing when we get there. We have to rebuild the cabins, stages, flakes where we dry the cards, and loading stations. Before anything can start, you need a roof over your heads and places to process a fish.
If we're lucky, the wood will still be there. But if it ain't, then we have to find and cut the wood too. It takes 2 months before we start catching the bait when the captains start to run, and then start fishing.
You're over the snow once the processing gets going.
Oh yeah! The stink off them rotten vats of cod liver oil and train oil. All the cod lying out there drying out in the sun, and all the fish heads going off before they're dry enough to be taken away.
That's nothing. If you haven't unloaded a vessel that's shipping fish heads unlawful.
Now lads, let's get on with it. We need to decide and get on. What with Maester Mayor Bramble on the prowl. Oh, and that recruiting party in town today.
I heard you saying they wanted 20 men from Pools this time.
What you're doing? Listening in on your bears?
I was just delivering a message. Anyways, you don't need to worry.
Oh, why's that then?
I heard him saying so he wanted practiced sailors, not to be the crackhead, impotent, or unfit person.
Cheeky little bird!
Come on, boys. We need to get these last supplies sorted. The mayor's after 20 people here in Poole today, and I ain't gonna be one of them. Tom, you go and take the boat round the Lulworth Cove. Should be safe enough there for a couple of days. Oh, make sure you get all the dry goods on board before Thursday morning, first tide. I'll sort out everything else. Right, lad, off you go. I'll see you on Wednesday. Oh, and mind to keep your eyes open for that recruiting party. Come here, Sammy, my dear.
Early in 1623, many Barbary pirates were sailing in the narrow seas off Southern Ireland and the Bristol Channel, and also in the English Channel, looking to attack vessels going out from the southwest ports to Newfoundland. Those pirates were also threats not only to those vessels and the sailors and the fishermen, but also to the communities along the southwest coast, which they raided for people to take away and sell in the North African slave markets. Captain John Nutt, an English pirate from Lympston in Devon, was also sailing off Southern Ireland. And he heard the king was willing to give him an amnesty, provided he sailed his vessels into Dartmouth and paid a fine. In May 1623, after protracted negotiations with MP and Vice Admiral of the West, Sir John Eliot, Captain Nutt sailed into Dartmouth with 2 ships and 23 men. There, despite having paid a fine of £500, Captain Nutt and his crew were promptly arrested by Eliot, who then sent Nutt off to London to be tried and hanged. The king had instructed Eliot to press men from all the ports along the southwest coast, and not hearing about this during the negotiations, sent a message to all the ports along the southwest, warning people to watch out for the recruiting parties. So, when the recruiting parties arrived at those ports that year, there were very few men left to press. They'd either gone inland, farming, or off to Newfoundland fishing. In London, Nutt was tried and found not guilty. He was sent off to sea with a £100 recompense. Eliot was found to have tricked Nutt, and he himself was sent to jail for 4 months later that year. But that's another story.
Master Mayor and his man have just left his house. They met in this way. I reckon they means business this time. Run for it, lads.
Mayor Bramble and his men be right behind me. Us took shortcut through from Barber's Piles. Simon, where be ye, Simon?
Over here, Mother.
Oh, Simon, my son, I have some victuals here for ye, and your sea boots and small skin. Oh, there would have been a chicken, but a bloody dog ate before I could get in the sack. Give one a kiss. Oh, you can run now.
Where be my husband too? Aye!
never seen an inn with so few men in it.
It's been a quiet night, Sir Mayor Bramble.
This won't do. You know we have to provide men for the King's service. The security and defence of the kingdom depends upon it. You've all heard the proclamation.
We don't give a fart for your proclamation.
Be quiet, you damn fool. You want to get rested.
I heard as how you'd made up your numbers once, sir.
Oh, yes, I did, but some of them were so disloyal as to escape from the press. I had to lock up 3 in the jail in Bloody Lane.
And what happened then, sir?
They escaped. Enough, mistress. Captain John Abbott arrives today to take charge of the pressmen, and the numbers cannot be short.
Oh.
It's a well-known fact that this inn is a resort for seamen, and I believe there are some concealed about the premises. Get looking, you boy.
Mayor John Bramble.
Aye.
I am Captain Richard Emmett. I have my warrant here, sir, under the seal of Sir John Elliot, a matter of 20 impressed men for the King's service.
20th year of the realm. That's 5.
I have the men here and under guard. There's just a few more to secure. This inn is usually full of men at this time of day.
These ones have been warned too.
Aye.
Who'd be letting the cat out of the bag? Never mind, Pads. Take these men.
How about this one?
Oh no, he's much too scrawny.
What about in here?
No, we need strong men. He does not look that to me.
Run for it, lads! Oh,
Grab him!
Grab him!
Grab him!
Oh, get off me!
He'll do.
Leave me alone! Leave me
you
alone!
told me you leave our men alone, them farmers, not sailors! Yeah! Mad shepherds! And where have we my men? I haven't seen him since you took him last time. Go on, kill! There's nothing more for you here. You bloody coward, you get me bill back or it'll be the worst of way for ya! God, out! Out! Finish at the doors!
Shut me up, your man now, come on. Oh, I'll go, let's see. It's been a long morning waiting down inside their tunnel, mistress. What's been going on? We've been stiff from all that bending and sitting down there in the dam. We damn near floated up here with the tide coming in so fast.
Oh. After 20 years, Gabe, you should know how to do it. Bring the stool for the sit on. Never mind your mithering anyhow. 10 minutes earlier and you'd have gone with the recruiting party. That's why the door's been locked.
Leave me be though. We bought them barrels of French brandy you wanted. Perhaps we should spring it and check it's alright, eh? to perhaps out that awful stiffness we got. We'd be too old for this here business.
Aye. Oh, and some bread and cheese won't go wrong, mate. I'm half starved too.
We're mighty glad you're here though, Gabe and Caleb. We've been short of French spirits for far too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, right though. Let's get them open and see how it tastes. Oh.
They rusted me!
Hooray!
Well done, lads!
Hello, John. How about another song?
What shall we do with a drunken sailor?
What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises early in the morning.
Put him in the longboat till he's sober.
Put him in the longboat till he's sober. Put him in the longboat till he's sober early in the morning. Hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises early in the morning.
Shave his beard with a rusty razor.
Shave his beard with a rusty razor. Shave his beard with a rusty razor early in the morning. Hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises early in the morning.
Put him in the cabin with a cap.
cabin with the captain's daughter, away in the cabin with the captain's daughter, early in the morning. Hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises, early in the morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Poole Bay Rotary Club, I want you to thank our producer Carole Allen.